Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, for coming through. If you are new to my channel, my name is Neka Friedel, aka Neka F, and I welcome you all to my channel. So, as you can probably tell from the title of this video, this is going to be a different video. I am going to be doing my makeup in this video, but I'm going to be doing a lot more of chit-chatting. And just to let you guys know why I haven't been uploading and just what's been going on in my life. I couldn't go through like another month of not like uploading. Definitely need to talk to my subscribers and just let you know what's going on. I'll put all the products that I'm using in the video in the description box. But there's just been a lot of things that have been going on with my family. I just kind of learned not to cry. And I also feel like being a black woman, you're kind of taught to just be strong and take what the world has to give you, if that makes any sense, and just kind of like deal with how you're treated. Two people thus far in the world that can make me shed tears, and one of those people is my mom. First fun fact about me: when I was born, my mom was turning 42 and my dad was 29 years old. You know, my mom's just really cute. She's like, you know, she doesn't age, she ages really well. For those of you who have watched my Nigeria YouTube videos, I remember that I was crying probably in the second one or the third one, probably the third one. And I was saying that something happened to my mom, but I didn't actually come back and let you guys know what actually happened. My mom had had a stroke on Christmas Day of 2016, which is when I was in Nigeria. I know it's like a long time ago. And she happened to have the stroke right at the top of a staircase. So you already know what happened after that. And I did feel a little guilty that like I was trying to live my best life and go to Nigeria, but you know, I don't regret the experience. I'm just sad that I wasn't here. And crazy thing is, for the few months prior to that happening, I kept having a dream that my mom fell down the stairs, and each time in the dream I would run and save her. So like, it didn't occur to me that, hey, maybe, you know, the universe was trying to tell me, or God was giving me like premonitions that this is gonna happen. Like, maybe you should pray it off, maybe you should rebuke it. I just was like, oh, I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm very, you know, fit. I'm in tip-top shape. You know, I do several different types of exercises. I'm like, I keep saving her in my dreams, so if it really did happen in real life, I'm going to save her. Not thinking that I wouldn't be there. That never even occurred to me. So at that point, that was stroke number 2. She had had another one maybe like 6 months prior, like around June, July time, probably around July 4th, because I realized that this happens like around holidays. So this year, around Thanksgiving, my mom had another stroke. So Thanksgiving always falls on a Thursday, so it happened on Tuesday. Technically it happened on Monday, but no one thought that it was a stroke, so no one took her to the hospital. And I taught yoga that Monday night, so that means I didn't come home until about midnight, because I always teach like the night classes, hot yoga. I always teach the night classes and I have to clean the studio, etc. So I didn't hear about it until the Tuesday. And crazy thing is, on the Tuesday, I took that day off because I needed to take like an online exam. For those of you who are kind of like in the medical field or want to pursue medicine, I had to take a test known as the Casper test. So I had to take that day, and it's like my mom slept all day. They were just like, oh, she doesn't feel well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got in the room and my mom was sleeping. Like she does a lot of sleeping. So I didn't think anything really was up until right before I have to take my exam. They're like, okay, we're gonna take her to the hospital. So yeah, my mom finally went to rehab about a week and a half ago, and she was doing well. So today is Sunday morning. It's Sunday morning. Friday night I went to dinner. I'm kind of tired, and I know I have to get up and teach yoga on Saturday morning, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go see my mom. And then like I'm like, no, that's my mom. Like, I don't care. I'll sacrifice my sleep. When I was in elementary school and everybody's mother was 25 years old or so, in their 20s, and my mom was pushing 50, I was like, oh my God, like my mom could die like any time. And yeah, I basically cried most of my elementary school life because I just thought my mom was gonna die any day. And I don't know at what point that I just was like, you know what, it's time for me to just live and enjoy the time with my mom instead of sitting here crying all the time. And obviously them having such an age difference, my parents, and they were married. My mom didn't necessarily, she wasn't counting on me because like I'm my mom's last child and my dad's first. And she didn't know she was pregnant with me until it was 6 months, until she was 6 months, a little bit over 6 months, because she wasn't necessarily planning on having me if she had known before. So, you know, she likes to tell me like God knew that there was going to be a plan for me, like, because, you know, basically my mom obviously has been pregnant before. I'm her third child, her last child, and you know, she probably would have known she was pregnant, but she just didn't. She didn't have a big belly or anything. Like God basically hid me from her until it was just like too late to do anything about it. You know what I mean? And so that's why I'm here. And I'm very grateful for life, and I'm grateful because, you know, I could spend some of my time taking care of her. But it is really hard. And I'm sorry, I don't feel like I finished the story. I left her, she was talking, she was running fevers, but she was, you know, before I left, the fevers went down, her blood pressure was still up, but the fevers were down, she wasn't hot anymore, and, you know, I was like, okay, I said, bye mommy, I have to go teach yoga, I love you, and she said, I love you too, and I was like, okay, everything is okay. It's not great, but everything's okay. And turns out my mom had another stroke after I left. They're like, why aren't you crying? You know, this is your mom. But I just can't. Like, I don't want my mom to feel like I've given everything over and that I'm giving up. You know, even if someone can't respond to you in a hospital bed, they can hear you. And if you feel like it's over, they might just feel like it's over. So that's just not really in my nature to give up, you know? But with that said, that's what's been going on in my life. And it brings me to another kind of touchy subject that I just kind of, I don't know if anyone's ever talked about this, but I don't know how I feel about like women having children older. And I'm talking about like regular people. Like Janet Jackson had her baby at 50. We know that Gabrielle Union is in her late 40s. I believe she's in her late 40s. If not, I'll correct myself. But she just had a surrogate and just had a baby with her, you know, with her husband, Dwayne Wade. And then there are just a lot of people who, Brigitte Nielsen had her baby at 54. But then also like back then when I was born, having a child like over 40 was like a big deal. I never had that relationship with my mom where we're like almost sisters. I grow up a little bit and we're almost sisters, and we go to the mall together and we have that kind of relationship. I don't know, things that you see on TV, obviously. But then it's also like I've never had that relationship where, you know, my mom I'm like playing outside with my mom, doing things like that, because my mom was much older and she had to, you know, take care of me. Like, I grew up in the hood, I grew up in the Bronx, like, so there really wasn't a lot of time for me and her to really have that like so-called younger kind of relationship. But I do feel like it's glamorized because, you know, Janet Jackson had her baby at 50. If she feels like she can't run after her child, she can always hire someone to do it. Or there's a lot more people, and I understand it takes a village to raise a child, but some people don't have a village. Do you know what I mean? But then you're also at a different stage in life when you're in your 40s and your 50s. I think women put themselves at a disadvantage when they have babies out in older age. But I don't know. Let's start that conversation if it hasn't been started before. But I just wanted to come back and just hope that no one gets offended with my views. And I'm in no way trying to start a confrontation, but more of a conversation. Because I feel like I've never really met anyone in my age group who has a mom who obviously like is in her 70s now, and there's no experience like when you have to look after your parent as if they're your child, and it really hurts. You would expect that I should be going through something like this when I'm in my late 30s, 40s, when my mom would be in her 70s or her 80s. But I'm going through it now in my 20s. And, you know, as someone told me, you know, everyone has their own cross to bear. And maybe this is mine. And most people that I know now have moms in their 60s, their 50s, their 60s. And they're not necessarily going through this. But I mean, they can always be going through worse. I do have my own views on the situation, and I would love to hear yours. There's no reason why this can't be a conversation. And I'm still dealing with it, but I do know that doing makeup really helps me and makes me happy. I'm going to be going in with the Fenty Beauty Nude Shade Unbutton. So for highlight, I'm going to go in with my Desi X Katie Dose of Colors Chasing the Sun highlighter. Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. I really do want to thank you guys for all the support that you have been giving me thus far and all the love that you've shown me. I will be coming back with another video. I just wanted to check in and let you guys know that I'm staying strong and this is what I'm going through. And I don't think I've ever shared anything like this before, but this is kind of why I've kind of been away. Unfortunately, I'm not a clinician, I'm not a physician as yet in my life, if that's where my life is supposed to go. So there is a little bit of regret there that I'm not in a position that I can like be super on top of things and always know what's going on, and be more of service to her. But if that's where my life is meant to go, then it will go there. But God knows all things, and God knows why, you know, my life is the way that it is now, and I'm not complaining. And I just wanted to take a moment and give a special shout out to all the people in my life who have been supportive in this time and who have been calling me and checking on me and sending me text messages and praying for me and praying for my family. And, you know, just checking on their strong friend, because I'm definitely that person that if you ask me if I'm okay, I'm always going to be like, I'm good, even when I'm not good. Sometimes it is a good thing to be vulnerable, and I'm doing that with you guys, and I'm hoping that you guys welcome me with open arms. That's really it for this video. Don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment, and of course I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you guys once again for all your love and all your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.